Are you looking to set up your Facebook real estate ads but just don't know where to start? In this video, I'm actually going to walk you through the process of how to set up a Facebook ad that gets sent over to Go High Level and how we can do it fairly easy and very simply. The very first thing that you're going to want to make sure that you do is you want to make sure that you have some type of CRM. And for this example, I'm going to use High Level. It's a great CRM. It's one that I use for myself as well as all my clients that I have. My name is Leo, and I actually run my own digital marketing agency that helps real estate agents get more buyer leads and seller leads. So this is my number one platform that I use for all my clients, and it works great to create automations as well as build landing pages. But I'll show you how to do the landing pages in another video. This video is actually going to focus on Facebook ads using a lead form, and I'm going to show you how simple it is to set up and how easy it is to funnel all those leads into High Level. So here's the first step. You want to go ahead and actually download or click the link in my bio. I am an affiliate for Go High Level, so I do acquire some type of revenue with any purchase sold, but you also get 14-day free trial to utilize this software. And for those of you that don't really know what Go High Level is, it's basically a CRM, and it replaces so many different softwares that you would normally have in your business. So if you're utilizing something like a landing page builder, like ClickFunnels, DropFunnels, if you're using WordPress to make your landing pages, it'll keep everything on this one platform, and you can actually build unlimited landing pages. So you can test out different landing pages, test out different offers on those landing pages, and see what really works for you and your business. The next thing that it actually really works well with is that it also takes some of the elements from like ActiveCampaign, MailChimp, and it just makes it all easy to use on this one platform. It actually gets rid of a lot of things that you would normally have to buy separately and puts it all into one easy to use package for you to manage your CRM. I'm actually going to go scroll down to this bottom right here, and this is just an overview. CRM, you get a pipeline management system, you get unlimited sales funnels, you get a website builder in there. You create surveys and forms for your potential leads to fill out. So you can really get the right questions asked and answered for your business. Comes with an option to utilize email marketing, two-way text messaging, book calendar. So if you have a Calendly link, you can actually get rid of that subscription and start focusing on booking your own appointments within High Level. Workflow automations. This is great if you have a lead come in. There's automations you can set up: text message, email. You can get notifications doing that. You can host a course on here: call tracking, reputation management. You can send out review submissions, tracking analytics, and then we even have the option to have a white label app. So there's a lot of great features in here, just so many that I'm not going to go over in this video. I just wanted to give you kind of a broad overview. And like I said, there's a 14-day free trial. Go ahead and click the link in the description, and you'll have access to this page as well as be helping me support and create more videos by using this link. So if you're going to find this video useful, this is the one that is going to be super useful. So the first thing we're going to do is we're actually going to create our ad campaign. I'm also going to be working on a video explaining to you how to create your own ad account as well as how to set up your own business manager. But if you already have one set up, this is pretty simple. So we're going to click on create, and we have this new look and feel of what Facebook's changing. They always change the back end and how they give you options on here. So there's a lot of different things that we can pick. So I think if you don't want to use this tool, you can just click on anything and then you can have the option later. So we're going to go to leads actually. So you can see that we have instant forms, messenger conversions, and calls. Those are the objectives that we're trying to achieve. So we're going to click on leads and click continue. From here, we want to go ahead and name our campaign. So usually I put my initials, and then we'll put something like what it is we're trying to accomplish. So this one's going to be a buyer lead campaign. I'm going to walk you through how to set this up. And you can even put the date. That way you keep track of when you actually start the campaign, so you know the beginning date. And you can, of course, add some other elements in there, but we're just going to keep it simple. So the next thing is you have categories. Now, it's very important that if you're a real estate agent or a mortgage broker, you got to select housing. If you don't select housing, then your ad's going to get denied. You do that enough times, your ad account's going to get restricted. So always pick housing. You're going to scroll down, and there's a couple things you can do here. So active campaign budget, when you turn that on, if you're testing multiple creatives, then it's great to have this out or turned on. That way, when you're testing out those creatives, you can let Facebook decide which one's going to perform better, and it'll start allocating a lot of the ad budget to that one specific performing ad. Now, if you turn it off, then you're going to create multiple ads, and each ad's going to run on their own budget. So, for example, if I do $30, it'll spend $30 based on three different ad campaigns. Now, if I do $10 and I create different ad sets, what I can do is then create three different ad sets. Each ad set's going to run its own $10, and that would be how to accomplish that. So instead of splitting the budget, you're testing each one and seeing which one actually performs better. A couple ways to do it. I would honestly just suggest turning it on, especially if you're just running like one campaign or two campaigns. You can split test. It's always good to split test. And you can honestly start at $10. I wouldn't go under $10. I wouldn't do really $5 a day. $10 a day for a month will get you about a $300 a month ad spend budget, which is definitely ideal if you're trying to acquire leads as well as build your database and get potentially some more active clients in there. If you do any less than that, it's just not going to be very competitive as far as your marketing budget, and you're not going to get the results that you're probably looking for. So let's go to next. Now here is where the ad set name is actually, so we're creating the campaign. That was the very first thing. The next thing is the ad set name. So this is actually who we're going to target. Who are we looking to acquire? So normally I live in Anaheim, so I'm just going to put Anaheim in general. Now, this is where it gets interesting. So we have different conversion locations. So you don't need to worry about a website right now. We're going to focus on instant forms. And then with the instant forms, what we're going to do is we're going to select our business right here for the instant form. So you want to make sure you select your Facebook page, and you want to go ahead and accept your lead terms. If it's your first time, you're going to have to click on accept it, read it, accept it. Dynamic creative, I'm going to leave this off for right now until you have a bunch of images to test through. It's not necessarily ideal. I like to know what's working and what's not working. So when I turn dynamic creative on, you're not going to know what image is performing the best. You're just kind of jumbling up like 10 different images and throwing it out there and letting Facebook decide what's going to be shown. And Facebook doesn't really track what's performing well. So we don't need to worry about a catalog here. We're going to leave that blank. You could set an end date if you want to test it out for like 3 weeks. You can set it 3 weeks out. We're not going to worry about that right now. We're just going to run it. So custom audiences. This is if you're looking to retarget your audiences. We don't need to do anything here. What we're actually going to focus on is location right here below. So the location we're going to set up is going to be Anaheim. We're going to focus on the local area. So now that we set up Anaheim, the lowest we can go is 15 miles. We can't do 10 miles. We can't do 5 miles. It's got to be 15 miles for the real estate home special ads category. So we have to really make sure that we don't go lower than that. That's the only option we get. So we're focusing on all these areas. But context in your ad will play a huge factor on how far your ad will be seen. So a lot of times I'll put something like find 30 plus homes in Anaheim, get your list here and opt in. Those work really well. Detailed targeting, we're not going to worry about that too much. So a little bit more about this. So because we're in the special ads category, we can't select an age group. We got to keep it wide open, just like we can't have any discrimination on our ads. So that's why we can't select men or women, or we can't pick an age. What we can do is we can do some interest-based targeting. Some people do Zillow as an interest. Some people put Truly as an interest, Realtor.com as an interest. And some people work with that. It's good to test. This is why it's good to turn on the CBO campaign in the very beginning when I said split up your ad test. There's a good point to do interest-based targeting, and then it's also good to keep it wide. Let the Facebook algorithm do its thing, because they're way better at finding the right person if you give them the ability to go search. Now here's languages. So if you're in a different population, for example, in my Anaheim area, sometimes there's a little bit more Spanish speakers out here, so I can select Spanish. Um, but you have the option. Now here's another thing. Sometimes the advantage placements says recommended or manual placements. I honestly like to just click on manual placement and I focus on the three different ad sets or the three different locations. So I focus on just straight feed, Facebook, Instagram, and the marketplace. I uncheck everything else because all of it doesn't really convert that well. So now that that's all turned off, I just have these three categories checkmarked. And right now, my audience target is around 3 million to 3.7. I'm in a highly populated location. It's very dense. It's just a huge community. Sometimes you might see this drop a little bit lower, depending on if you're in more rural areas. Ideally, you want to be somewhere around 500,000 up to like 3 million. Any of this is fine. So we're going to click next, and now we're going to create the ad. So what I like to do is just, if you're going to create a couple images, I just like to put image one, image two, not get too crazy. So now we type the Instagram account, and now we're going to create our ad. So with the ad, what we want to create is an image. Now the image you want to create ideally should be the front of a house, should have curb appeal, do a few or multiple houses. I don't think I really have anything in this ad account. Like you can see right here that I have a bunch of different images that I can choose from. So I'm just going to pick this one. And if you have maybe a handshake in front of a home you just sold or just anything like that, that'll work well. And then for your text, you want to have something of value to offer them. So sometimes you want to say get exclusive homes sent straight to your inbox. This is where you can kind of craft whatever offer you're going to do. This one we're going to target home buyers, so we're going to say that we're going to send them a list of homes. We can do hot list of homes, but you want to write this. I'll leave this up to you to write because you really have to have it unique and just say attention Anaheim Anaheim home buyers. Get exclusive access to the hottest properties on the market daily. And then you can see where we're going with this. You want to keep it straight to the point. You don't want to have this one long paragraph. You just want to have something straight to the point. No fluff, no nothing. Just get to the point. And then you can just put stop paying rent. And you can actually test multiple different ad copies, different headlines, and then what Facebook will do will basically show the top performing headlines and text to people looking at your Facebook ad and figure out which one's actually converting better. So the call to action you want to use would be learn more. And then here we go, creating a Facebook form. So you can see I already created one. What I'll do is actually duplicate it, and then I'll walk through it. So when you create a brand new Facebook form, you're going to want to create a form and name it. So this could be Buyer Leads Anaheim, or it could be whatever city you're looking for. If you do mess up on creating a Facebook form, once you publish it, you can't just go back and edit it. You have to restart it. Either duplicate it and you fix the edit, or you start from scratch and rebuild it back up again. There's no edit feature once it's published. So think proofread it after you're done doing it, so that way you don't have to give yourself that headache. So the form type is going to be more volume. Background image, you can leave this blank. Sometimes it'll pull the image from the ad, so you don't need to do anything unless it asks you to. Once you publish it, it'll say you need to upload an image. Then that's when you upload the image. So for your greeting, your headline, usually I keep it as the topic of what your ad originally said. So if you're offering a hot list or homes for sale, then you want to just make the list homes for sale. And then right here is just a secondary subheadline: upsizing or downsizing. Your home search starts here. So it could be for someone looking to upsize or someone looking to downsize. So then we have actual questions in the ad. Now these questions will help qualify your buyers looking a lot more effectively. So what you do is you add some questions. Now these are the questions that I have: is are you just browsing or looking to buy? And then they tell me, so they're either looking to buy or they're just browsing. Are they the looky loos or the people that actually are trying to gather information? Now one thing about Facebook ads is a lot of people aren't opting into these things to make it happen right now today. Usually they're about 6 months out from making a decision. But you want to be the first one to have those touches, because then the next part, once we get them into go high level, we're going to set up the automation, and that's where you really start building out an engine that's going to help you nurture these leads long term. That way, when they're ready to make that decision, you're top of mind when it comes to that decision, because you're always sending out these emails, text messages over a frequency of time, so you're not forgotten, as well as your follow-ups. Personally, those phone calls that you'll be making. So the next one is how soon are you looking to buy? They're really easy to set up these questions. You just put multiple choice, and then you type out the question, and then fill out the fields. Now the next thing, so we have these 3 questions. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to talk about the contact information when they actually opt in to receive whatever the offer is. So we write a description saying what we're going to do with this information. So this one is, we'll use this information to set up your search criteria. So when they opt into here, we're going to set them up on an MLS search, and then we're going to feed them homes daily. And hopefully they use our websites, because we'll be able to track them based on our IDX feeds, et cetera, et cetera. So the first thing we want to know is their first name, last name, email, phone number. Now, the reason why I have it set up like this is because when they actually get the form set up, they're thinking a lot of times that all this should be auto-populated in Facebook. So when they fill this out, they're not really looking at the phone number. Sometimes it doesn't show, but it's there, and then they just click next and have their email or their phone number opted into. So you can't. There's also certain questions you can and cannot ask on Facebook. So things related to credit, you can't find out like really what location or what their address is, or you got to keep these questions pretty general. Otherwise, the form will get denied and you won't be able to use it. So you want to really make sure that you cross your T's, dot your I's on the Facebook form. Now, right here, just ignore what it says, adding too many questions. Honestly, I get good lead costs even with these questions being asked. I'm getting around $3 to $5 a lead for these questions, or for these home buyer leads. That questions actually will qualify your buyer a lot more than not having anything and just having a lead. Privacy, you're just going to put your privacy link from your website or your company's website, and then the completion. What do they do next? So you say, thank you for signing up. Our home search is ready to be viewed. Click here to view homes. So right here, we can link the option to click here to view the homes on your IDX feed. You can set up a search criteria, save it, and then have them go to that landing page view. So if I click on Anaheim homes, it's going to take me to an Anaheim location or a community, and it's going to show me homes for sale in that area. Now you can set this, if you're part of EXP, you get a website. This is how you utilize your IDX feed. Set up a search thing that they click on and they go there. So we're going to click on publish. Well, not necessarily. And then once you're done with that, you just make sure that you tie in your pixel. Usually when you have it, you'll set up a pixel and you just select the correct pixel. Once your ad looks good, then you click on publish, and then you have a live ad. Now, before you click on publish, we want to go into go high level and set up the automations behind that, back it up. So this is where we tap into high level and really start seeing what we can do here. So we're actually going to go to my agency or my location. Sorry, my head's in the way. So now that we're here, it takes a second to load. So now that we're here, we're going to go to our settings. So this is actually how you tie in your Facebook lead forms into high level. So the first thing you need to do when you do sign up for high level is making sure that you have all the preliminary stuff filled out. They'll walk you through it, and then right here is you're going to log into your Facebook account. It's going to request access. You go ahead and go through that process. Then you're going to change your page, connect your page. Once it's connected, you're then going to go to right here under Facebook Fields Form Mapping. So once you go to Facebook Fields Form Mapping, you're going to see this little icon of Map Fields. So you create a form, and right here you're going to find the form name that you created, and you're going to map it. So you're going to see form fields. Now, if you don't have the right field on here, you need to create the form field in here. So we need to create a custom field, and you're going to add your custom field as a text, and then type in the questions that you asked that you set up on your Facebook lead form. So what is your time frame? So what happens then is when the lead form gets filled out, it's going to shoot that information to high level, and it's going to put the information into this data. So if I was going to go to the contact, I'll show you real quick. So what you do is you go to the contact, you go to additional info, and it'll show you all the questions in here about what they filled out. So if they filled it out and you click on hide empty fields, it's going to show all the questions they answered right here. So that's where you're going to find that data. So we are going to go to integrations again, Facebook Fields Form Mapping. We're going to map the fields. You're going to map all the fields to the right. So are you looking to buy or just browsing? You're going to select that, and you're going to go down the list and click save. Once you click save, you're going to get an icon that looks like this. That means that the form is connected. Once that's connected, the next thing we do is, that's how we know that high level is going to shoot the information over into, or I'm sorry, Facebook is going to shoot the information over to high level. Now, the last step that we need to do is set up the workflow or the automation. So we're going to create a new workflow. We're going to start from scratch. So a trigger is what event has to take place on high level for them to enter this automation. So we're going to click on Facebook lead form submitted because we have the connection there. We're going to add the filter. We're going to say that the form is going to be buyer leads Anaheim, or we're going to say the trigger. So now whenever that trigger happens, they're going to get sent to this automation. So the first action, very first thing you want to do is you're going to want to assign it to a user. And when you assign it to a user, that means we can put the custom code. The automation is going to know that this person's in charge of this lead. The next step is we're going to create an opportunity, which pipelines is a whole nother topic, but we're going to just do sales pipeline. We're going to put a new lead comes in. Opportunity name, we're actually going to put the person's first name and person's last name with the space. And we're going to save. So the next thing we're going to do is we have a user. So you got to think of the logic behind the flow. So it's going to be tagged to a user. Then we have to create a pipeline, or we're going to put them into the pipeline. Now we need to tag them. So what we're going to do is we're going to add a tag. So this is how you keep your CRM organized. So we're going to put, I don't have the right tag. So for example, like you would say seller lead or a buyer lead. I would probably put buyer as a tag. So in this case, we'll just put realtor. So you'll put a new lead, you'll put buyer, you'll create those tags. That way, when you go on the back end, you're looking up your contacts, you have a database of 1,000 people, you're going to type in the smart search buyer tags, and it's going to show you maybe that 1,000 person is going to be down to 250, and all those 250 are buyers. So if you have a campaign you want to launch, you can organize it in that way. So that way it really cleans up your database. So once you have the tag, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to send a notification notifying that you have the lead. So we are going to set an internal notification, and we're going to do email, SMS. We're going to do SMS. and we're going to send the assigned user. So whoever the assigned user is, and you're going to type in new lead in, and you can use custom values to explain who the so when you say contact, that's the person that is your lead. When you say user, that's the person usually assigned to that lead. So hopefully that clarifies. So you're going to put contact, full name, and the yada yada yada, all the other information. So we're going to set notification, which I should have done this. Do email. We're not going to do email. We're going to do SMS. Right, test. Okay, the next thing we're going to do, so we have all the preliminary stuff set up, assign a user, put them in the pipeline, adding a tag, putting a notification on them. The next thing we're going to do that we can do is we can put a delay. So as soon as they opt into the lead form, we probably don't want to shoot them a text message or email that very second. So we're going to put a little 2-minute wait timer on this so it feels more natural, more human-like. So now we're going to send an SMS first, and we're going to write, hi there, and you're just going to basically start the automation right here. And then we'll probably wait 1 more minute or maybe another 2 minutes, and we're going to send the email. The email can be the from name. So here's another thing about email. If you do go to settings and type in your from name here and your email that you use, each email that gets sent will use this information. So you don't have to necessarily go into each one, create an email, and set this up individually. So you don't have to redo the from name. You don't have to do the from email every single time. It'll automatically populate by just doing that in settings. Subject, you can put your hot list of homes, and then type something in here. Test, save the action. Now, that's your first initial conversation. Say you wanted to actually call them based on your call settings. You can select a call, and you can have the phone ring. It'll connect you to the lead. You can set that up. If you don't want to set that up, then I would just put another wait timer, and then probably just do it for the next day. Oops. So you're going to set it up a 1-day delay, and then set up the next email, and so on and so forth. You can do so many things with this that it's kind of endless. Once you go through the options, you can kind of really see how powerful this is over the long term of nurturing your database. Normally what I do too is I'll set up the first 5 days of email automation, and then after that, every 2 weeks, I'll send them something new, but I'll basically build this out as I grow my database. So I don't have to worry about building out a year-long sequence right away. You can do this yourself. Do 5 emails at first, and then after a couple weeks, start dripping on them every 2 weeks. After the first month or two, then you can do monthly automations. And so you're building this out over the long term. And as new people get into your pipeline, they have all that sequence to go through. So it makes it super powerful. So that's pretty much it, how to get set up. There's a lot more that we can do. We can, set up responses. So if people respond to your email, we can set up a response where they move pipeline stages. This thing can go really, really deep, really, really fast. And, to keep this video at a decent time, under 30 minutes, I don't want to give you too much information because it just gets overwhelming at that point. So I'll break this up into more bite-sized pieces. But like I said, if you found this video useful, go ahead and give that video a thumbs up, and go ahead and subscribe to this channel. That way we can get this information out to other people that are struggling in the real estate industry, and really look to grow their business using Facebook lead forms, as well as using a strong CRM that's going to be able to power their lead engine. So I'll talk to you guys later, and until the next video, have a great day.